Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Canto 4, Chapter 7, Text 17. We have been reading the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We were hearing about Seva Aparad yesterday, that because the sacrifice arena was contaminated by Virabhadra and his followers, they had passed stool, urine, so much violence was committed there. So the Brahmanas were sanctifying the place. And Prabhupada is mentioning that when we do deity worship also, the standards that have to be followed are mentioned in the Pancharatrika Vidhi. And so everything has to be kept clean. Yeah, this is what we were reading yesterday. And then Prabhupada points out that there are 32 offenses in doing the deity worship, which are mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. And before we begin any deity worship or any sacrifice, to invoke auspiciousness, to purify everything, the holy names are chanted because the holy name is the most powerful. And Prabhupada points out that whether one is in a pure or impure condition, internally or externally, if one chants or even remembers the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, one immediately becomes purified. That is the power of the holy name. And that's the reason we have been given this most powerful medicine. In this age of Kali, we do not have long lives. Our minds are really very disturbed. We are very lazy. We do not have enough paraphernalia to engage in other kinds of sacrifices. So we have been given the sacrifice of chanting the holy name. It's the most potent medicine to clear the dust, which is there, the dust of material contamination, which is there on our consciousness, because we are pure spirit souls. But because of identification with matter, identification with the body, we are thinking we are the body. And chanting the holy name helps us to bring us to our original position as souls, eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. The Yajna arena was decorated by the presence of Lord Shiva's followers, headed by Virabhadra, and therefore the entire arena had to be sanctified. Although Lord Shiva was present and he is all auspicious, it was still necessary to sanctify the place because his followers had broken into the arena and committed so many obnoxious acts. So Lord Shiva, by looking at him, everyone was getting purified. Daksh looked at him and his consciousness got purified. So Prabhupada is pointing out, even though Lord Shiva was there, yet because the whole sacrifice arena had been destroyed, kind of, so it had to be sanctified. The sanctification was possible only by chanting the holy name of Vishnu, Trikapala, which can sanctify the three worlds. So even though Lord Shiva is there, even though he was there, still the chanting of Lord Vishnu's names was needed, because chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the most powerful. This is another point where we can see that, yes, Lord Shiva is a very great personality. Yes, he's the Lord of the demigods, the Lord of the material world, but he's not the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is Vishnu or Krishna. In other words, it is admitted herein that the followers of Lord Shiva are generally unclean. They are not even very hygienic. They do not take baths regularly. They wear long hair and they smoke ganja. Persons of such irregular habits are counted amongst the ghosts. Since they were present in the sacrificial arena, the atmosphere became polluted and it had to be sanctified by the Trikapala oblations. Trikapala oblations, which indicated the invocation of Vishnu's favor. So chanting of the holy names of Vishnu, Trikapala, the maintainer of the whole world, of the three worlds, Trikapala, the three worlds. That is the supermost excellent position of the Supreme Lord, Krishna or Vishnu. Did anyone want to add anything or comment? Anything? No, then we continue to read. 18. Advar Ryonata Havisha
Advaryonata Havisha
Yajamano Vishampate
Yajamano Vishampate
Diya Vishuddhaya Dadayo
Diya Vishuddhaya Tadayo
Tatha Pradurabhuddharihi.
Tata Pradura Buddharihi.
The great sage Maitreya said to Vidur, my dear Vidur, as soon as King Daksh offered the clarified butter with Yajurveda mantras in sanctified meditation, Lord Vishnu appeared there in his original form as Narayan. So we can see, these yagyas that used to happen in the ages gone by. That was really personally the demigods would come. We see Lord Shiva is there, Lord Brahma is there, and so many other demigods are there. Bhrigu Munis, all the great sages are there. And here now, the purpose of any yagya or any sacrifice is for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan. And here, Lord Vishnu is personally appeared. And so that's the reason we are said that the only sacrifice um, that is given to us, that's recommended to us in this age of Kali is the chanting of the holy names, because we do the chanting of the holy names for the pleasure of Krishna, so that Lord Krishna is satisfied. Same as these sacrifices are being done for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. In this age of Kali, if we do hold big sacrifices, all that, it's not going to give effect, because we really don't know how to properly perform the sacrifice. We do not have the brahmanas who can chant these mantras precisely, who can actually invite the demigods and the Supreme Lord. It's not that the demigods are some fiction. No, they exist. They actually exist. So Lord Vishnu is all-pervading. Any devotee who in sanctified meditation, following the regulative principles, chants the required mantras in service and in a devotional mood can see Vishnu. So here, if we really properly chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we will be able to see the Lord Vishnu in a mood of service with devotion for the pleasure of the Lord. Following the four regulative principles, we will be able to see the Lord. It is said in the Brahma Samhita that a devotee whose eyes are anointed with the ointment of love of Godhead can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead always within his heart. Lord Shyam Sundar is so kind to his devotee. So the qualification to see God, many people challenge, let me see God, I want to see God. Oh, if I can't see God, God doesn't exist. Many people challenge like that. But what's the qualification? Lord Brahma says it in the Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churito Bhakti Vilochanena. He says that in the Brahma Samhita. What is the qualification? We have to anoint our eyes with the salve of love. I put eye drops today because I have an eye strain. So, the eye drops to see Krishna is to anoint them with love. They say like the kajal or some, how we put to beautify our eyes. That is to put the salve of love, then we will be able to see Krishna. Then how can we come to that position? We continue to hear and chant. hearing and chanting for the pleasure of Krishna. And the love which is there in our heart. It's not that we have to put the love there, or it's not that only some people have the love and some don't. Each and every one of us has it. We simply have to revive it. And the easiest way to revive it in this age of Kali is by chanting the holy names. Tadasva prabhayate sham
तदा स्वप्रभया तेषां
Dyotayantyadisho dasha dasha. Yeah, sorry.
द्योतयन्त्यादिशो दशा.
Let me increase the font a bit. I hope this is okay and not too big.
No.
Mushnam steja upanitas.
उष्णं स्तेज उपानीतस्
Tarshyena stotra vachina.
ताप्स्येन श्रोत्रवाचिना.
Narayan was seated on the shoulder of Stotra or Garuda, who had big wings. As soon as the Lord appeared, all directions were illuminated, diminishing the luster of Brahma and the others present. So Lord Vishnu is personally come, and how has he come? He's come on Garuda. Garuda is called Tarshyena, Stotra. He's called Tarshyena, that's Garuda, or Stotra is also called Garuda. And why is he called Stotra Vajina? Means whose wings are called Brihat and Ratantara. Here it's mentioned. Garuda, his wings are called Brahat and Ratantara. So he has names for his wings too. A description of Narayan is given in the following two shlokas, and we can see that when Lord Vishnu is appearing, everything is becoming so bright. Because after all, he's the source of the Brahmajyoti. He's the source of all light. And so he's the most lustrous personality over there. That before Lord Brahma and others seemed lusterful, but now that Lord Vishnu is there, he's the most illustrious personality. Like when we see a firefly in the night seems very bright. But if you keep a firefly in the front of the sun, then we can't even see the luster of the firefly. So that's the position of Krishna. That's the position of Lord Vishnu. He's the origin of everything, everyone, all the light. Shyamo hiranya rasanor kirita justo.
श्यामो हिरण्यरशनो कर्ककीर्तजस्तो जुस्तो.
Nila laka brahmaramandita kunda lasayaha.
नीलालकब्रह्मण्डितकुण्डलात्
Shankhabja chakra sharacha pagadasi charma.
शरचापकदासिच
Vyagrer hiranmaya bhujer iva karnikaraha.
व्याघ्रे हिरण्मयभुजेरिव कर्णिकारः.
His complexion was blackish, his garment yellow like gold, and his helmet as dazzling as the sun. His hair was bluish, the color of black bees, and his face was decorated with earrings. His 8 hands held a conch shell, wheel, club, lotus flower, arrow, bow, shield, and sword, and they were decorated with golden ornaments such as bangles and bracelets. His whole body resembled a blossoming tree, beautifully decorated with various kinds of flowers. So here Lord Narayan has appeared with 8 hands. I used to think Lord Narayan had only 4, but anyway, he's come here with 8 hands. He's the Supreme Lord, I guess. Of course, so I mean, it's not that I guess he's the Supreme Lord. Sorry about that. He is the Supreme Lord. So he can have 8 hands too if he likes. So usually we hear he has conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. Now, additionally, he's holding bow and arrow, a shield, and a sword. And he is wearing golden ornaments. He has bangles. He has bracelets. He has so many different kinds of flowers. His complexion is blackish. His dhoti, his clothes are like gold. He's also wearing a crown, a helmet, which is as bright as the sun. And his hair is bluish. His hair is bluish, the color of black bees. And he's also wearing earrings. So we can see the Lord has a form. It's so much description is given of the form of the Lord. The Lord is not impersonal. He's the supreme person, and he has a form which is very, very beautiful. The face of Lord Vishnu, as described in this verse, appears like a lotus flower with bees humming over it. So his face is lotus flower, and his hair is like the color of bees, right? So it's looking like how we see there's lotus and the bees are surrounding it. In that way, the analogy is given. A lotus is so beautiful, and the bees are always going there to drink the honey. So the Lord's face and hair is described like that. All of the ornaments on the body of Lord Vishnu resemble molten gold of the reddish gold color of the morning sunrise. So his ornaments, we see sunrise every morning, beautiful golden sunrise. That is to give us a sort of to help us to understand that the ornaments of the Lord are that color. The Lord appears just as the morning sun rises to protect the whole universal creation. Yeah, the sun is the center. If the sun would not rise every day, if the sun wouldn't exist, we wouldn't be able to exist. The universe wouldn't be able to exist. You're getting the energy from the sun, the heat from the sun. If there was no sun, we won't be able to exist. So similarly, very nice analogies are given. Just as the sun is protecting us here, the Lord is appearing to protect the whole universe, the whole material creation. His arms display different weapons, and his 8 hands are compared to the 8 petals of a lotus flower. All the weapons mentioned are for the protection of his devotees. So the Lord appears for the protection of his devotees. And his arms, 8 arms, are compared to the 8 petals. Generally, in the 4 hands of Vishnu, they are wheel, club, conch shell, and lotus flower. These 4 symbols are seen in the 4 hands of Vishnu in different arrangements. The club and wheel are the Lord's symbols of punishment for the demons and miscreants. And the lotus flower and conch shell are used to bless the devotees. So in general, when we see the picture of Lord Vishnu, we see 4 hands, club, lotus flower, wheel, and conch shell. So, thank you. With the wheel and club, what does he do? He is annihilating the miscreants. He's punishing the demons. And with the conch shell and lotus flower, he's blessing the devotees. This is why he has these 4 symbols. With this chakra, we see so many times, he called his chakra and he killed someone. So there are always 2 classes of men, the demons, the devotees and the demons, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, paritranaya sadhunam. The Lord is always ready for the protection of the devotees and annihilation of the demons. So we may say, how come there can be only 2 classes? Either you're a devotee or a demon, but I'm neither a devotee or not a demon. But this is what Krishna is saying. We are not saying this. Krishna is saying this in the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we have to realize that in this Kali Yuga, both the devotee and the demon are living within us. Both of them are within us. And so the Lord has come as the holy name. Lord says that he is ready for protection of the devotees and annihilation of the demons. In this age of Kali, the Lord has come. Krishna is the holy name. And by chanting the holy name, we are killing the demon in us and we are cultivating the devotee in us. There are demons and devotees in this material world, but in the spiritual world, there is no such distinction. In other words, Lord Vishnu is the proprietor of both the material and spiritual worlds. So it's not that Lord Vishnu is he owns only the material world or only the spiritual world. No, he owns both, the entire material world, the entire spiritual world. There is nothing that Krishna does not own. Nothing. Everything is owned by Krishna. In the material world, almost everyone is of the demoniac nature, but they are also devotees who appear to be in the material world, although they are always situated in the spiritual world. So a pure devotee may come to the material world, but his consciousness is always transcendental. He's always in the spiritual world. When the devotees were taking Srila Prabhupada in the streets of New York and were apologizing to him because it was dirty, and they were saying, Srila Prabhupada, we are sorry you have to see this dirt. He said, I'm not seeing anything. I'm in Vrindavan. I'm not seeing any dirt here. I'm in Vrindavan. So that's the consciousness of a pure devotee. He's always in the spiritual world. A devotee's position is always transcendental and he's always protected by Lord Vishnu. So this is the position of a pure devotee, transcendental. Because his consciousness is, I'm a servant of Krishna. What can I do to serve Krishna? How may I please Krishna? So he's always with Krishna. Krishna is pleasing the devotee is pleasing Krishna. It's a relationship between a relationship of love between Krishna and his devotee. So we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.